It's spoopy season, y'all. Hello, everyone. My name is Mallory Hopper. I'm the Children's Ministry Director at Herndon UMC, and I am really excited to tell you about this one event that happens around this time of year every single year at Herndon UMC, and that is Trunk or Treat. Now, I could go on for days about how much I love this time of year and this particular holiday. I mean, I'm serious. Once this time of September rolls around, I usually deck out my whole apartment in decorations and I watch a silly, spooky, or scary Halloween movie every single night. And on October 31st, I really can't wait to throw on that costume that I've been building and that I've been looking at and desperately wanting to wear for weeks, and finally putting it on and living in a brand new identity for just one night while on, let's face it, the best sugar high of the whole year, right? I could go on, but when thinking about how I would present this as an opportunity for us as Herndon UMC, and how dressing up in a silly costume or decorating a themed trunk and handing out candy to the masses of kids and families that are going to be in our parking lot come October 30th from 2 to 4 p.m., I was really challenged by the idea of how does God call us into the spirit of playfulness, and how does it relate back to our values, mission, and vision as a church community. Now, I was challenged by this, and when else would I usually feel challenged than when I am in school? And so I kind of had to take it back to my roots a little bit. I kind of had to dig into some of my old textbooks and sources from when I was learning how to be an educator. And there are some very interesting things that I dug up. Hold please. So herein lies the big question. How is hosting a Halloween event living into our vision of living the teachings of Jesus so that everyone can know God's love and grow in spirit-filled relationship? So let me tell you a little bit about what I found. So according to occupational therapist and toy expert Carrie Wilmot and Laura E. Burke's Exploring Lifespan Development, which is a textbook that I brought back from my student days, dressing up in costumes, playing make-believe, or playing pretend has a wide variety of developmental benefit. It strengthens so many mental abilities, first of which being longer attention span. So you are more likely to pay attention for longer if what you are wearing or what others are wearing around you are very different from the norm. And that goes into memory. So you're most likely going to remember an exciting incident better than one that is mundane and everyday. So next is logical reasoning. So I want you to think about when you were a kid, where were you playing pretend? Where were you playing make-believe? When were you putting yourselves into the shoes of a soldier and playing army? Where were you pretending to be a fairy? Where were you pretending to be a princess or a knight in shining armor or any of these wide variety of characters? Where were you doing it? You feel completely safe wherever you're playing pretend, so you just kind of go for it. You were most likely feeling totally safe and free to let your mind explore all the different possibilities that went into building your own personal character. So when you were playing pretend, and when children play pretend, you're in prime problem-solving mode because the stakes are low. You are going to solve all of the problems that come up in those scenarios that you're creating on the fly. Language and literacy skills are developing like mad. You are using all of the words and expressions and facial expressions and body language that you have to communicate to your playmates what's going on and what you're doing and those problems that you are going to solve in this scenario and in this setting that you've created in your imagination. Speaking of which, imagination and creativity. So when you are in that play space, the sky's the limit, right? There is nothing that is too far out of reach. So if something is far across the room and you need to go get it, what are you gonna do as your character? Well, suddenly my arm can stretch all the way over there and grab it. Is the team that you are fighting crime with in danger? Cool, you're gonna fight the bad guys with your mind control powers. There is literally no boundary to what you can create in your head. Then there comes the understanding of emotions, their self-reflection and differing perspectives. How do I feel as this character or person? How do I like or dislike that, both as this character and as myself? How do my playmates think or feel about this or what is going on right now? Those are all the mental benefits. Let's talk about the other side. What are the positive physical benefits of make-believe and pretend play? So as kids are dressing up in costume, they're developing their fine motor skills through the things that they're putting on their body, the costumes that they're putting on and off, the accessories, the different articles of clothing have any combination of Velcro, zippers, buttons, snaps, buckles, clasps, any kind of closure, you name it. They're trying, they're fiddling with it. And even if they are still in that gross motor function and not the fine motor function stage, they are using that productive struggle brain. They are going, I know that I can do this. I have seen my older sibling, or I have seen my aunt, my uncle, anyone that I look up to, anyone that I watch regularly do this. And so I know that I can do it if I sit here and I fiddle with it enough. And I know that it's gonna feel so good when I get it done myself and I put it on my body and I suddenly become just like that person that I am watching either on TV or around me in my regular day life. I want to be like them. I'm going to imitate them. And so I am going to struggle through this Velcro. That's a little tough for me. Or I am going to figure out how this buckle works. Very fascinating stuff, at least for me. And then kids and adults alike, when they role play, are imitating, like I said before, mannerisms of what's going on around them, what they're observing in their everyday, and then creating their own special traits and themes. So they go, I like how that character is incredibly brave, is courageous, and is willing to stand up for what is right. So when I play pretend, I am going to be brave and courageous, and I'm gonna stand up for what is right. And as they do that more and more, again, kids and adults alike, they're more likely, because they have practiced it in a safe environment, are more likely to carry that into their everyday. When they see that something that they know is not right happening, they're more likely to be upstanders, and they're more likely to speak out about, hey, this is wrong, how can we fix it together? So in short, dressing up and playing pretend and pretending to be another person or creature, we are expressing and presenting to the world everything that we have learned and what we see both within and without of ourselves. So if we're going into how does this translate into what we are doing on Sunday, October 30th from 2 to 4 p.m. by showing up, by dressing in a silly costume, by pretending to be or presenting to be a different person or creature or goblin, ghoul, whatever you choose that you want to explore for an afternoon. You are showing those kids that, first of all, this is a safe place for you. This is where your imagination can run wild. This is a place that we encourage you to explore every aspect of yourself that you are still trying to figure out. We want to support you as you explore all the different aspects of yourself and all the different ways that God is growing you into the person that you're becoming. And not only am I saying like, hey, you're free to do that, but I'm doing that too. And isn't that cool? Isn't it cool that everyone is a lifelong learner? Everyone, no matter what, is always learning something as they go along. And how cool is that to have that camaraderie and to learn together? It's a space of welcoming, right? It's a space where kids and families and adults and anyone in between are free to be completely themselves. So we're expanding this hospitable welcome. Goes back to one of our strategic pursuits, right? How are we creating spaces of intergenerational ministry? How are we creating spaces where everyone feels like they have a place to be themselves? And so I think this is the perfect opportunity to live into that strategic pursuit, which takes us back to the vision, values, and mission. By creating this mutual space of learning, we are living into our vision. We are showing a side of and a facet of God's character. where God is saying you are completely free and safe to be yourself, whichever side of yourself that you are deciding to present to the world in this one particular holiday or in this one particular place for a number of hours. So now I'd like to present to you the different ways that you can be of help and serve in this event. So the event is called Trunk or Treat. We're gonna need some friends who have some cars and trunks that they're willing to decorate and create a theme around. It doesn't even have to have a theme. As long as there are trunks out there with folks with smiles on their faces who like to be outward facing, who love interacting with kids and families, we need folks like that. If you would like to create a trunk and if you would like to be that forward facing friendly face, you can go to bit.ly/trunkortreat22, which will take you to a forum where you can sign up to be a trunker. But there are other things that are going on in this event that we need help with. So once folks kind of go around and trick or treat outside at these trunks, there's gonna be an inside portion with all of these fabulous Halloween style games. So we're talking very easy stuff to run, very easy carnival style games. Those are gonna be inside. You can run one of those and you're still gonna be outward facing, but it's for shorter periods of time. We're looking to create some ambiance. So if you're the kind of person that gets in your car and automatically turns on that radio or plugs in the aux cord or connects through Bluetooth, we're looking for event DJs, both inside and outside. There's a Spotify playlist that's already ready to go. It's just a matter of someone plugging it in and pressing play, and making sure that that ambiance stretches throughout the whole event. We are in need of parking directors. There are 2 different entrances to our church property and folks can get a little turned around, especially if they don't know where they're going. So having a friendly face to wave them down and say, hey, enter here, I can point you to a parking spot. We need folks that are willing to do that. Put on a nice little vest, that could be your costume. Put on a vest for safety, direct people to where they can park and then where they can enter the event. If you are really artistic and you love painting faces or hands or bringing this image that a child brings to you to life via, washable paint, there are plenty of opportunities to do that. There are so many more that you can find by going to the public needs list. You can also find it by going to the church app, website, all that good stuff. And anything and everything that you could possibly want to know about this event is found at herndonumc.org. If you have any questions, if you have any curiosities, if you want to talk about some of your own favorite Halloween movies and the different parts of this event that you could help with, you can email me at mallory@herndonumc.org, and I am so excited to get things rolling on October 30th. We're gonna start setting up right after Sunday worship, so there's a lot to do and a lot to get done in the effort of making folks feel welcome and give them a little bit of Halloween joy, you know what I mean? So that's all I've got for you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.